Right now, there are over 3,400 billionaires on the planet, and here in the United States, nearly 3 out of every 4 of them didn't inherit a dime. They built it from zero or close to it. So the question isn't, were they lucky? The question is, what did they actually do every single day that the other 99% of us don't? I went through the research, the interviews, and the documented habits of self made American billionaires, and I found 7 patterns that show up again and again and again. Stick around because habit number 5 is the one most people get backwards. Welcome back to Billionaire Habits, the channel where we decode how the ultra wealthy actually think, not the Instagram highlight reel, the real behavioral patterns behind the money. This isn't about luck, trust funds, or just work harder. It's about 7 specific, repeatable habits. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to start applying every single one of them, starting today, regardless of your income right now. Habit 1. They refuse to blame the system, the economy, or bad luck. This sounds simple, almost like a cliche, but it's the foundation everything else is built on. Self-made billionaires treat every outcome, good or bad, as something they had influence over, not the market crashed and ruined me. Instead, what did I miss, and what do I do differently next time? This isn't toxic positivity, it's a filter. The moment you blame something outside your control, you've also given away your power to fix it. The moment you ask, "What's my move?" you're back in the game. Practical takeaway. Next time something goes wrong financially, a bad investment, a missed opportunity, write down one sentence. Here's what I control going forward. That's a habit in miniature. Habit 2. They are ruthless about the difference between something that pays them and something that costs them. A car, a bigger house than you need, a closet full of things that lose value the second you buy them, those are liabilities. Stocks, ownership stakes, real estate that generates income, a business, intellectual property, those are assets. Self-made billionaires obsess over acquiring the second category and delaying the first. This is why so many of them are famously frugal in their personal spending relative to their net worth. It's not about deprivation, it's about sequencing. Assets first, lifestyle later. Practical takeaway. Before any non-essential purchase, ask one question. Does this pay me or does it just cost me? That single filter changes spending behavior faster than any budget spreadsheet. Habit 3. They protect their time more aggressively than they protect their money. Here's the logic. Money can be lost and rebuilt. Time can't be recovered at all. Self-made billionaires are notorious for saying no to meetings, distractions, and even relationships that don't serve their highest value work. They delegate or eliminate anything that isn't the highest use of their attention. Most people manage their money like it's precious and their time like it's infinite. Billionaires do the exact opposite. Practical takeaway. Audit your last week. Find the 3 hours that added zero value to your goals and protect that time next week like it's cash in your pocket, because it is. Habit 4. They treat learning as a daily discipline, not a phase of life that ended at graduation. This is one of the most consistent patterns across self-made wealth builders in America. Heavy, deliberate reading and information consumption, specifically targeted at their field of expertise and adjacent skills. Not passive scrolling, targeted study. The compounding effect here is real. A little bit of new, relevant knowledge every day, applied consistently, turns into an enormous skill and insight advantage over 5 or 10 years, while everyone else's knowledge stays frozen at whatever they learned in school. Practical takeaway: pick one skill directly tied to your income goal. Give it 20 focus minutes a day. Not 2 hours once a month, 20 minutes every day, forever. Habit 5, and this is the one people get backwards. Most people think billionaires are just huge risk takers. That's a myth. What they actually do is take asymmetric risks, situations where the potential downside is limited and known, but the potential upside is uncapped. A small, controlled bet with a huge possible payoff. Not bet the house on one idea. They also do something most people skip entirely. They define the worst case scenario before they act, and they make sure they can survive it. That's what makes the risk calculated instead of reckless. Practical takeaway: before your next big financial decision, write down the actual worst case outcome, not the vague fear, the specific number. If you can survive that number, the risk is probably worth taking. Habit 6. They are deliberate, almost strategic about who they spend time with. Self-made billionaires consistently surround themselves with people who are further ahead, smarter in specific domains, or simply operating at a higher standard. Not for status, for information and accountability. Your network isn't just emotional support. It's a real-time information feed about opportunities, mistakes to avoid, and standards to rise to. Practical takeaway: look at the 5 people you talk to most. Are they pulling your standards up, or are they keeping you comfortable? You don't have to cut anyone off. Just be intentional about who gets your best energy and your big ideas. Habit 7, and this one ties everything together. They think in decades, not months. Compounding in money, in skills, in relationships, in reputation is slow at first and then suddenly enormous. Self-made billionaires consistently make decisions that look boring or even underwhelming in year 1 because they're optimizing for year 20, not for next quarter. This is genuinely the hardest habit to build because our brains are wired for instant feedback. But it's also the most powerful one on this list because it's the multiplier that makes all 6 other habits actually compound instead of just adding up. Practical takeaway: for every financial decision this month, ask, would this look smart in 20 years? Not, does this feel good right now? Let's run it back, fast. Extreme ownership, assets over liabilities. Protecting time like currency daily. Targeted learning, calculated, not reckless, risk. A high signal network, playing the decades-long compounding game. None of these require you to already be rich. That's the point. They're behavioral, not financial. The money is downstream of the behavior, not the other way around. If this gave you even one thing to change this week, hit subscribe. New breakdowns on wealth psychology and money mindset drop regularly on this channel. Both shorts and long-form deep dives like this one. Drop a comment. Which of these 7 habits are you weakest on right now? I read every comment and it might shape the next video. See you in the next one.